Hello, beautiful light-filled souls. My name is Trisha Barker. If you haven't seen some of my previous videos, you probably ought to check out interviews with other near-death experiencers and my own near-death experience, which was the first video that I made. But today I really want to just thank you for watching my channel and for reading my book, for interacting with me. It has been such an interesting journey these last 3 years. I now feel connected to people all around the country, all around the world, and it is your light and your love that sustains me. I recently saw this documentary, and I will post the link below just in case you're interested, but Richie Grannon is a YouTuber and also a personality, and he did some research around social media and its effect on teens. And as you know, I'm sure, the suicide rate has gone up astronomically for young teens, and bullying and cyberbullying is one of the things that they deal with. And there are times, I'll be honest, when I think about just giving up this channel and going, I've had enough. I'm tired of deleting all these negative comments, but I think that I'm meant to understand this culture and understand what is going on so that I can help younger people deal with it. So it's a tough process in some ways, but they live in it to a degree that I don't. As a Generation Xer, I wasn't born into social media, and I didn't live in that environment. I experienced bullying in junior high, but that's very different from this constant bullying that's 24/7, for many kids, both at school and online. And I think it's really terrifying. And some of the messages of the near-death experience seem all the more applicable now. So remind them to go to nature was one of the messages that I got. And I'll read a little brief passage from my book. I was interviewed by Path 11 podcast, and just a wonderful host, and she pointed out this sentence in my book, and it is, "This loving light showed me that everyone needs to spend more time in nature to heal and become whole, more loving and joyful. I saw that most people disconnect from their souls and focus on survival instead of enjoyment and play. Nature can help people reconnect with their sense of delight and wonder. The light of God seemed to contain limitless love and wisdom." So, yes, young kids, adults, everyone needs to spend more time connecting with the purity of their soul, the beauty of their soul, the part of their soul that is silly and joyful and playful and fun. And laughter is incredibly healing. Nature is incredibly healing. And this disconnection that we're seeing in society is disturbing. And in some ways, I feel that maybe I'm a part of it, and yet I can't help it, because how am I going to connect with people if I don't have this channel? How am I going to find people interested in this topic if I'm not on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter? It's bizarre. So I'm looking at it as a researcher on some level. How is it affecting me? How do I find my own balances with social media? How do I find greater peace? And if you've noticed, I haven't made videos in a few days, and the marketing advice that I get is put out a video every couple of weeks. Well, that's just not realistic. I need downtime. I need rejuvenation. I need meditation retreats. I need time away from the digital world. I need time in the mountains. I need time at the beach. And you do too. Like this consumption of material doesn't give us enough time to process things deeply. And I think that's another important message. And I'm really just finding my way in this process. I have loved connecting with readers across the country and people who are interested in near-death experiences, but at the same time, I long for a deeper connection with the people that I meet. It's wonderful to pop into a bookstore, have an afternoon discussion, hear from different people, but I'm longing to go to the mountains and meditate with people, to create real spaces where we play in nature, where we have fun in nature. And it takes some time to think about how that can be done. My next project is one where I'm truly going to focus on helping and healing the new group of students coming into college, helping them succeed in various ways. And that's the focus of my sabbatical and of my next book. The college that I work for is supporting me on this journey. And so it is going to be more research based and more focused on what do these students really need to heal. And certainly I've learned a lot from my listeners and from people who have connected with me about healing modalities and about wonderful speakers out there. So my focus is shifting a little from Angels in the OR to how can I reach this population of students in a way that makes sense to them and really brings home healing in profound ways. So I'm going into my creative mode of writing, which, you know, this channel might change some. I definitely do have some near-death experience interviews lined up, but my focus is shifting to that younger population, because if you note in my book, the majority of my book is set in my 20s. And I had a tough question from an interviewer at Tattered Cover. It was a tough but important question. She asked about why I chose to include some of the things, the tougher subjects that I included in the book. And I've thought about it since that moment. I answered that question. You can see it on IGTV and my Facebook page if you're interested. But now that I've reflected a bit more and I've thought about it, I'm really fascinated by sociology and by our time period. That's something that I just can't help wanting to discuss more. And had I been a middle-aged person who was financially set in life, then maybe I wouldn't have traveled to another country. Maybe I wouldn't have experienced sexual assault, because most women who are 15 to 27 are in that range of people who might be sexually assaulted. So basically, sociology, not manifestation, dictates some things about what you go through, you know, the culture that you're a part of. But anyway, that's an aside. I also want to let you know that I really appreciate your support and your kindness, and it means a lot to me and it keeps me going. I will have more interviews. If you missed the second annual Near-Death Experience Summit, you can check the links below and you can see some of the replays. It was a ton of fun to just have 3 hours with the researchers and near-death experiences, and the energy of those hours were just beautiful to me and important to me. So I hope you will check that out. And if you have read my book and enjoyed it, I'd love to hear from supportive readers. If you haven't read it, I'd love for you to check it out. Most of all, though, stay in touch with me here and go to nature, enjoy your life, and be incredibly blessed.